The chess commentary team are absolutely flabbergasted.
Okay, so black has a queen for two pieces.
They can hardly comprehend what they're seeing on the board. One of the deepest, most powerful queen sacrifices we've ever seen. They're already calling it Game of the Year, Immortal Queen Sack. This is truly spectacular from Pentala Hari Krishna. He was a second of Gukesh D when Gukesh became world champion. So he's got preparation for days, right, stored in his big brain, and his poor unfortunate opponent was Arseny Nesterov, a Russian player who plays the Russian defense, a defense that has a reputation for being solid, boring, try and break me down, I dare ya, just look what he gets wham bam slammed with. And it happened at the Chess World Cup. Round 2, game 2, they're in India. Goer, have a goer at this one. It's just phenomenal. We get pawn d4. There's a number of different options on each move. We're going to stick with what was played. You know, this bishop move, very common, but takes here. You could go d5, inviting pawn takes en passant, the most magical move in chess. But bishop c5 starts the fun and games because the pawn's attacked. How are you defending it? You know, you don't want to go with the bishop and have a horrible structure. What normally gets played is bishop c4. Craziness ensues. But this move was played. Thrusting out with the queen, given the question mark, it's so deep the engine doesn't even get it, hits two pieces, so this is the follow-up. Forcing white into a little bomb cloud with that king, and now you've got a problem. Two pieces are hanging. How do you deal with that? Well, this is the move. Obviously, you don't go into this if you don't know what you're doing. Both players do. They're prepared. It's just engine versus engine chess. And if you now take en passant, then you can take back with the knight. And you hit the queen. And the point is, if you check, saying, now block with the queen or whatever, or move your king, I'm going to take your bishop, good stuff. Well, no, doesn't work because black goes check and wins the queen. This is a critical line. So this is why in the game we didn't see this takes move, but knight c3, trying to get rid of the center, then take the bishop. So the follow-up move, and best by the way, is pawn c6. Taking is naturally great, because after pawn takes and bishop going somewhere, there were bishop g5 ideas and the queen's trapped. So this gives some room, also kicks this one back, or does it? This is where brilliance is unleashed on the board, deep from the preparation. Mama's home cooking here. It's knight takes on e4.
It's an absolute banger. It's a game changer.
The queen is sacrificed. The entire chess world's just reeling at such a move. I mean, these are the kind of openings that just keep chess exciting. Do check out Lotus Chess below if you want to dominate your opponents in the opening like this kind of thing. That is the #1 place I know to learn a new opening, but also the crushing lines that let you pick it up. Dominate your opponents out the opening, completely free to get started. Link down below. I absolutely love it. Got my streak going right now. It's so good. Where to put the king? Well, it has to go here. If you step to e7, you just lost your queen right back for no compensation. So of course king f8. Now we see king takes on f2. And if you play the immediate queen b6 check, well, it's not actually so great. Bishop blocks, and this is a hanging piece, undefended. These are some of your big problems. Development. So you don't have time to start pawn grabbing really. White develops with tempo. You can even trap the black queen in some lines. So in the game, knight c6, best move, because you now threaten takes. Knight takes, queen b6 check, and then this knight would be loose once you eliminate the pawn. It's deep stuff. But this is why bishop e3, to fight against queen b6. Best way to play from here? Well, queen c7's right up there, renewing the threats. But this was played, very double-edged move. And it's saying to white, you cannot capture or a take here. sorry, not take here yet. First, kick the pawn on. Even I'm getting confused here, and I've been analysing for like an hour. You know, now if takes, you lose this one here, and you're about to take with check, so no time to try and do an in-between move. And if running back, you take with the bishop, now takes, and there's a new angle of check and attack, and the king's drawn out here, and it's just not what you want. Let's pause here. Black's doing well. b5 and some quick bishop liberation could be on the way. Obviously, you have to do it in the right manner. So let's run back. Pawn is immune, but Pentala understands that. He plays bishop f4, and now again, top engine move was not played, but it's pawn b5. You have to try and bring these guys to the party. Queen b6 was played, and although you hit a pawn and you threaten a discovered check, these guys are just stuck on the Etienne back row. So bishop d3 was played. Excellent response. Connects the rooks. And now And now if you take here, well, you just lose time. The rooks are coming with tempo. So we saw this knight spinning around, desperately headed for d5, trying to hit this bishop. So it preemptively drops back. Amazing accuracy here from Pentala. Now the knight jumps forward. No tempo picked up on the bishop. And so there's time to snap off this pawn. With the bishop, of course, not the knight. You have to leave that one there. It's an absolute dragon, killing two pieces at once. This is where the compensation comes from. A huge octopus is landed in return, but the bishop just calmly returns. King e7 played. Good move as it happens, bringing the rook to f8. I mean, Nesterov playing black here is no slouch. He won the Russian chess championship this year, 2025. Highly coveted and difficult event. He's in some great form, 22 years old, but Pentala's just seeing deeper here. Look at this move. Rook he1. I mean, it's so easy to not understand that that is the best move. You know, do you just do a little pawn push somewhere? Do you expand over here? Do you expand over here? What's the play? Well, he goes like this. Rook f8. It was showing me that that's the top move. Now, for some reason, it gets the question, who's got a clue? And here, another brilliancy is unleashed. Rook takes on e3.
Mushrooms.
I mean, this is one of the most magical games we've ever seen, even if it all started as prep. To just keep executing with these fantastic moves is something else. In the game, we saw a counter sacrifice, because if you take here, well, then you can check from this direction, and you're getting forced to block with the rook. The king can't actually move. If you step to e6, you get checkmated from c4. These are the problems. So with the rook going to drop in that line, this is why we first get rook takes on f3, check. And there's only one winning move in this position. Can you guess it? Well, very well done. This is so deep and not easy. If you understand, king takes should be played. Looks weird to step out into the open. Expose yourself to the queen. But after she takes on b2, the point is now revealed. Double hit on the rook and the pawn. Check is played. And now in this position, the king steps up. Because if the king had gone to f8, then again, there's only one winning move.
The only winning move.
It's the only move?
The only winning move.
It's the only move?
The only winning move.
It's the only...
And it's rook f1. And the reason this is a winning move is that the f file is open. Without the f file open, the game's no longer winning for white. It's level, even a bit better for black. Because then the pawn can be taken, hitting two pieces, and there's no king g4 check as there is in this position. Because there's a pawn there, remember, in this kind of imaginary line. And the king can't move except g8. Then you check again, and you've got nothing but to give up your queen on e6 or d5. e6 makes most sense, and then white is just a knight ahead. Because if you don't block with the queen, you run away like this, you get mated. Just the most phenomenal lines. So after check, we saw king e6. Now bishop c4 was the most beautiful way to finish. Give the pawn, then bring the rook, or maybe you check first, I forget the details, but you can actually hunt down the king by sacking the e-pawn. But it was first defended, understandable, he is human after all, but you wouldn't know it from this game. Bishop c4 check, still a threat. And this is practical human chess. You know, the threat still exists. The knight covers the square, so it's not like the queen can get there. If you pin, the king can run, I guess. So in the game, best move, b5. I mean, better late than never, right? Cover the c4 square, open the bishop, then you can get the rook into the game somewhere. But the problem here is check. The only move is king d5. And then another laser beam down the long diagonal. And once the king goes, the rook is dropping off the board. It's just a thing of beauty. Check is played. Also covers the unprotected bishop on c8 here. But now after bishop e4, putting another question to the black queen, the whole thing finally collapses for Nesterov. If you tried to go here and stay with the bishop, well then there's these kind of ideas. Run that king around, eventually you can go ahead and win the queen. This is just one sample line, many similar like it. So we saw check, king running, now the queen bouncing out here, bishop defended and resigns. Because if you try and save this bishop, a6 is its only square. I mean, you can visually see how bad it is. Well, then the black queen just runs out of life. So does the bishop run out of ground. You can do something like this. Yes, you win this piece, but now you get mangled over here. It's just horrible. These are the kind of lines that you can step into. And similar stuff if you start with h6. The queen just dies. The king just dies. There's too many problems. 29 moves, truly an immortal queen sacrifice there from Pentala Hari Krishna. Hope you enjoyed this one and have a look at the video on screen if you want to see another epic game of chess, and see you soon. Cheers.